Okay, hey everybody. Sorry, hypothetically we're already live for a little bit there. Whoops. Anyhow, today we have some Fire 2 Open qualifiers going on. If you're not aware of what Fire 2 Open is, it's a pretty sweet tournament that Chris Bizzle has created and gotten going for Terra Mystica. There's already been a couple seasons. We've participated in the first two and had kind of mixed results, although we've wound up at very strong tables. And so, anyhow, qualifiers are running now in order to get into the main tournament. Today, we're going to be competing against, I don't know for sure. We'll find out soon. Possibly like 50-ish players for 3 slots today in order to get into the main tournament. So, not great odds, but we're pretty good players, so who knows what happens. Um, Anyhow, we're just waiting for the qualifier games to start up soon. If you're interested in this tournament, there's a thread on Board Game Geek with a bunch of information about it and past tournaments that you can read up on and find out about. There's going to be 3 more qualifier days that you can still join in for, so if you still want to even have your own shot at entering the tournament, that's still possible for a while here. So go check all that out. Um, Anyhow, we're gonna be. I'm only gonna be watching chat here for the next couple minutes. Once the games actually kind of get going, I'm just playing today. I'm not reading chat at all because I don't want to, get any tips or hints or whatever and have unfair competitive field for the opponents and all that. Yada yada yada. But hopefully, some people will enjoy at least getting some insight into what's going on and all that. Um, if I think I have things set up well enough again too, but if somebody's noticing some weird issue with the stream in terms of just audio or whatever else, I guess you'll have to probably send me a message through Discord if you actually know where I'm at. But yeah, just try to avoid getting any tips or hints or whatever. Uh, Sorry, I'm just reading all the chatter right now. I kind of experienced this during the MSO tournament where people organized things through Discord, and it always is a bit surprising to me how many people seem to not really read the rules or understand what's going on. But I guess whatever, it's fair. There's enough kind of confusion going on. But yikes, there are a lot of people asking quite a lot of the same questions. But it's getting handled well enough. I'm sure Chris will have our pairings up soon enough and we'll get playing. And the good news is we are below the threshold for 3 games, according to Chris. So that's very good news. I really didn't want to play 3 games today. I don't think anybody did. Ideally, qualifiers will never have to go through 3 games. The downside is basically, I think the plan is to have the opening round be a lot of 4-player games, and then all the winners will advance and possibly have to play 5-player games, and the winner of the 5-player game will be the qualifier. I actually kind of like 5-player games, but I don't super love them, and it's slightly different, right? So it's a little weird and kind of annoying to run them as qualifiers. But there's no great way to run qualifiers here, so everybody has chances at least, and that's fair. Um, Gosh, there are a lot of people chattering away. That's fine. I'm not quite sure how fast the groups are gonna get actually set here. They should happen pretty soon, to my understanding, but I guess we'll find out. Always take coins, right? It's good stuff. Um, we had a pretty cool game this morning that we played with some strong players on the current arena settings, so that was a good fun. Uh, do, 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 do. I'm just reading the rules quick for qualifiers. We're attempting to not go over the time limit, blah, 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 blah. We're not supposed to undo unless it's just for a misclick, so I'll have to be a little careful about that, but there's also some great little things here. Uh, yeah, we're still waiting on some table stuff. Chris is getting the math figured out and hopefully posting pairings soon so we can get going. Um, some people talking a bit about how they prefer to have kind of open discussions and collusions and negotiations, and the rest of us telling them that that's not the point of this tournament. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, I've actually fall pretty far on the side of I actually do kind of like openly talking about games and stuff, but I totally understand not wanting every game to devolve into diplomacy. So hopefully we won't have any actual issues today on that front. Um, Still just waiting here on getting anything from Chris. Be curious to see, yeah, who all is actually playing today. There's a lot of, I mean, in order to get into this, you have to have at least like a 300 elo, I think. But I mean, there's a lot of strong players floating around that I recognize, even just in the chat and stuff. So, it's not gonna be easy. To be honest, I don't even know how many qualifier days I'm gonna bother playing. Like, I'd like to qualify again, but I do kind of find this process a bit of a slog. And with so many people playing, like even if you're quite good, I think it's hard to qualify, right? Like you're essentially playing two games back to back and hoping you win them both against pretty strong opponents. Like it's a good method. Like this is a good way. This is as good of a way as you can run it, but um, yeah, but we'll see. Yeah, he's taking a while. So anyhow, yeah, we let's see. What else can we talk about right now? Let's go peek at that game we played this morning. It was a fun one. It was a table with Claybo, Chris Ho, and Danny B. So a lot of just very strong players. Almost all of us are actually 600 elo, which is pretty crazy. I mean, there's only like 20 people on the site, I think, roughly, that are this high rated. So it was a pretty cool one. Let's just let's watch through this one, I guess, and let's talk about it. So it's gonna kind of go at hyper speed here, but anyhow, it was a fun game this morning. We had Orin, Darklings, Giants, Halflings under current tournament settings. The track's not great for anybody here. Um, Color wise, Orin are good, but I don't think Orin are great on this map. I think Witches have a real advantage um, because Witches can do their flight stuff. I think Halflings are really hard to play on this map, as Chris Ho is going to find out. Um, the problem is on the base map with Halflings, you can use just a couple of digs and get to a lot of brown hexes really quickly. And then now that you have a lot of worker production, then you can advance your digs and dig wherever you want, and your expansion is relatively easy. Expanding on this map is really hard because you can't, like, your starting placements don't give you a chance to like get a lot of brown dwellings out very quickly, and so you don't get worker production going, so you can't advance dig to just be able to afford triple digging hexes or whatever. So I think you have to do some early shipping with halflings in order to have a success on this map and get to like 2 ship and hope to just reach like a lot of brown hexes quickly and then advance your digging and fill out your towns. I think that's what you have to do. But that's not what Chris does, and I think he really struggles this game. We wind up with Giants for 30. Chris thought halflings were about equal, and I think that's just wrong. I think he agrees with that now too. Red is just so well positioned on this map. This is a pretty sweet Giants opening because we got bridge and these dwellings out, and then we're going to wind up getting a town real quick here and get a ship town. And then later in the game, we're going to be able to carve out 2 more town spaces. We're going to be able to get a lot of network. We're actually going to do pretty well in the cults. Not that it looks like it yet, but our opponents don't really follow up much. So Chris is almost done with this, actually throwing the tables together, so that's fun. Apparently qualifiers are on the base map today. Interesting, that's fair. And a bunch of players like modified base way better than the original one, and they're thumbing it, which is, or no, never mind. A lot of us are questioning it. That's what that smiley is. That makes sense. Some people do like revised base. They've played on a bunch and they like it. Anyhow, just peeking at this game this morning, the other thing we saw was Claybo is just Darklings, and Darklings are quite good on this map, and I think they're really good when they get away with what he's going to, where you actually get to put your Sanctuary Center, you get all this early leech, and you still get to carve out town space. It's pretty rare for Darklings to actually be able to get town space in the center, but I think when they do, I think they're still absolutely a top tier faction, and I still think they're pretty strong on the map, even when their Sanctuaries just get stranded, but Clayable's definitely having a good game. We're just having a really nice Giants game, though. I mean, it's the end of round 3, and we have 2 trading posts, 5 dwellings, a stronghold. We have a couple of priests on the cults. We don't have, like, great points, but we actually get to build a temple for Earth 1 during this round, which is pretty nutty that Earth 1 was still just sitting there. Orin had never taken it. And so that was pretty helpful. And then we got to just keep expanding things. There's also all the pass tiles for points. So this was a fun game this morning on that front. But there are 3 5-player games in the opening qualifier round here, which is fine. Totally makes sense. Mertz is praying silently to get a 4-player game. It's funny. We'll see what happens. Anyhow, this game this morning, nobody has a ton of points here yet. At the end of round 4, we've really all built up our economy and are trying to score a lot late. I was able to get quite a few priest cults to make use of this event, and it kind of helped start to set up some of my cults, my pretty good cult performance this game, actually, because nobody else really was investing in them much, which makes enough sense. Darklings need all their priests for shipping and digging. Halflings needed all their priests for shipping and digging. And Orin, you'll note, have not built their stronghold yet, which has been a bit of a mistake for them. I think they should build it this round, and they still failed to, which was a problem. We did get water 1 blocked, but taking fire 2 here is quite good. It comes with an extra worker anyhow, and we need it. We want it for our towns, so we have a lot of resources left here in this game. We have great points on the pass, and we're going to get a pass tile again, and we eke out a pretty nice win here. Alright. Everybody in this chat is largely agreeing that we should be sticking to, tournament conventions, which tends not to have any open table talk about the board state and just purely let you play the game. And one guy doesn't like that, which is fair, but this tournament's not for him, is what he concludes, and I would agree with him. So we'll see. 5 players, not that different. I agree. We're still waiting for the tables to actually get posted here, so we'll just keep watching this game go. You'll note that my economy is pretty lopsided in the final round, but that's okay. It wasn't during round 5. I probably should have built some more trading posts, but I really needed a pass tile because I was running out of ways to actually make points, which is not always that common, but we definitely were having that problem here. But I wind up building a bunch of stuff. I have enough resources left over that I build a kind of inefficient temple trading post dwelling at the end of the game in order to push my network out one farther. I'm at 13 right now, and I'm going to push it out to 15 in order to outright win network, because both Darklings and Orin, Darklings and Orin are both going to end this game at 14 structures, so it was pretty valuable to push out one more structure, which is the main reason I did it. Apparently there's only 2 5-player games in the opening here, according to Chris, so that's cool. I'm assuming the next round is a lot of 5-player games though, but I really don't know how many people there are yet. Chris is posting a lot of updates that are not actually the table assignments, but it's fine. Volume's quite low. Okay, see, people say that every time, and then I adjust, and other people think it's fine. Oh, I never understand streaming. Someday I will, but hopefully my volume's a little better, although I also wasn't always talking that loud either, I guess. But a lot of people don't want 5-player games in this tournament, but we'll see what happens. Anyhow, at the end of the game here, we see that I was eking out one last thing. I wind up taking a temple for Earth 3 just because I have to build another temple in order to hit 15 network. And Earth 3 looked really quite good because it let me go from last on Earth to winning Earth with just a priest. So I think it was better than taking Air 1. But that's what I mean. Like, I wound up having quite a good cult game by the end here because I actually win 2 cults, take second on another. So I have 20 points on cults, and I outright win network, which helped push me to the actually winning this game because points-wise, I was behind Darklings here. Darklings also had a pretty good cult game and just had lots of in-game points as they tend to do. So I see tournaments have just, or pairings have just been posted, so we'll let this little score tally run because I've been broadcasting the whole point time anyhow. So let's look. There are 14 games, meaning we are going to 2 5-player games next round and 1 4-player game. So that's interesting. I must be the number 1 seed because I have game 1. Bizzle is playing in his own tournament. Awesome. Good for him. He should. He deserves to. I recognize none of the other names I'm playing with in this first game, which suggests they're probably not that well rated. And we probably stand a pretty good chance, but we'll find out. Bizzle actually pulled all the elos here, I see. So he really did seed them. Okay, the number 1 should just host. I'm gonna go set up this table. And we'll see where we're at. Alright, we're hosting a simple game. Normal mode, fast speed, base game, factions by auction, variable turn order, mini expansions, yes, landscapes off. We need to invite 7 lunative. Wow, it's not finding them. Let's try the other one. Jace Do. There's a Jace Do. Invited. So a weird trick for people that are ever having this issue, you have to, like, for whatever reason, manually refresh the page in order to invite more people that aren't your friends. Otherwise, it doesn't let you. Like, if I try inviting this 7 person without refreshing the page, it's not going to work. 7. Oh, it's Tuna. I see. It's 7 Tuna 5. Tuna 5. Yeah, I think it's going to tell me I can't. And yeah, inviting players I don't know is considered rude. So we refresh the page, and then it's no longer rude. Because that's how things work on BGA. 7 Tuna 5. Okay. 7 Tuna 5 is pretty good. I've never seen them around. Jace Dew's pretty good. The Boov, not as good, but that's okay. All right. There are some dumb questions in the chat, but that's okay. Everybody's BGA usernames are listed here. I'm just peeking through. Oh, here, actually, sorry. I should show for people who are interested here quick. Here are the games that are running today. So just looking through some of the other tables, C5 and Deep Finesse are very good. Bizzle's quite good. CH Tennis is all right. I recognize Techleys is a really, well, Techleys is a really great Snellman player. Dave's pretty good. Eljaz and Devrukti are pretty good. Matt G and Simon B are quite good. This table is pretty good. Zitka, Brian the Man, and Mile Blast are all reasonably good players. Good luck to Weber in this game. Cheering for him. Bowser looks like he has a pretty decent table, although Nish I recognize. I think I recently played him, and I think he's pretty good. Steel Kitted and Super are pretty good. Mertz is good. This player I know from WBC. He's done quite well at WBC, so he's pretty good. The 5-player tables, Hades, Shortwell, Anup, I all recognize because they all kind of hang around. They're pretty good. Ghostly did wind up at a 5-player. Sorry, buddy. Hopefully those work out for those guys. It is a bit unfortunate, but it's what happens. So anyhow, we have our table. We should probably pay attention because everybody's here. Yeah, I think we're good to go. I'll write in the chat here and see. Alright. I'm gonna double check that I've actually have the settings right, but they say ready. Yep, looks good. Okay, let's look at top arena ranked players qualify automatically. So Pinecone, the people that have already qualified were from the past seasons of F2O. They were the people that got first and second in their groups last season. We unfortunately got third, although I would argue we had the toughest group because we had to play Gino, who went on to win the whole thing, and Nerdcube, who was one of the best players, I think. But anyhow, I'm going to stop looking at the chat now because I'm about to play, although I will actually, I lie, I'm going to briefly look at the chat for about 2 more minutes, purely because it's through my Streamlabs or whatever. We're not supposed to undo moves anyhow, but I'll read that in a sec. Oh, we have first seat, great. Well, here's what I get for mucking about while streaming. I just have to resize a window quick before I head out so that you guys at least see things pretty well. It looks like right there's the sweet spot. All right, see y'all later. Faction wise, this track has big buildings late, dwellings, more big buildings, trading posts. We have early earth cult rewards, lots of past tiles, but no big building ones. This looks like a cultist game to me. If you get a lot of earth cults early, you get a big bonus. You get even more spades. It's everything you could want. You build big buildings late. You build a sanctuary in the middle. So I'll be boring. Put in cultists. They're good. All right. Yeah, we're supposed to. Anyhow, this qualifier is being played base map, no landscapes. That's probably the format I know the best anyhow. So to be honest, I'm kind of hoping to get a kind of matchup I know well too, because if that happens, I feel pretty good about, it's easier for me to play games that I can predict fairly well. So it's good. It's good to have predictable stuff. And so if I see a matchup I know well, I know how to value it. I know kind of what the likely expansions are and all that type of stuff. It's a lot harder to play well for me within frameworks of kind of unknown matchups. So like if we suddenly wind up with, let's say, alchemists, fakirs, chaos or something, it's really like that's a very unusual thing. There's 2 factions that are sandwiched. It would be really hard to know. We see mermaids made a lot of sense for this setup too. Maybe not a lot of sense, but late big buildings are pretty good for mermaids. And mermaids can tend to build mid-game trading posts without killing their economy. The pastiles are quite good for mermaids. This is a pretty ideal set of pastiles for mermaids. We're missing the 4 coins in a cult step. We're missing the priest. That means that cult step, like sending priests to cults and making your own priests, is even more valuable, and there's less like cult movement in the game. And again, big building scoring is the other one missing, so that tends to kind of discourage strats from building early big buildings. We see Darklings get picked. That kind of sucks after we already saw cultists and mermaids. Now Darklings are sandwiched, but Darklings being in a sandwich isn't the biggest of deals, but I'm not really excited by that Darklings pick. But again, this could just be kind of somebody picking what they're familiar with. Darklings getting to send the first priest to Earth is going to be quite strong here. But I don't super love the Darklings here, honestly. Like this, there's never anything such as a bad Darklings game, but the lack of the big building tiles is actually kind of a bit of a bummer for trying to rush out a sanctuary early. The track is kind of limited for points on them. and there's no priest pass tile, so it's not the greatest Darkling setup. And then we get engineers as the last. Engineers also aren't like super great here because there's not a lot of great ways for them to score. One of the engineers' best things is that their trading posts are so cheap. So having another round, like having a round 4 to leverage that is really good, or even round 5. Round 3 is a bit early for them to want to put up a lot of trading posts. So it's a little bit sad. Engineers do get to start with a spade. They're going to start here. Cultists probably start here. Darklings probably start here. Cultists are going to start here. Engineers start here. Mermaids are probably going to start here in this matchup and then still probably here. They could start here, mermaids being, and they could take this hex, which would be annoying, especially if I'm cultist or whoever. I like cultists quite a bit in this matchup. There's a lot of leech you get early, and you could even go for double temple openings, which is something I really like. Because cultists are it's probably going to go spade, worker power, temp ship, and then cultists are going to get like 6 coins, and then you take the worker's power action and you build 2 temples for Earth 1, Earth 2. You get a ton of cult steps, you're a mile up Earth. I really like that game plan, but I think engineers are probably the best here. Engineers they just have no color neighbor, and they have pretty good expansion, and they're going to have pretty good leech. They don't have tempo on the leech, which does matter a bit, but I'll bid engineers a little bit, but I think I actually am most comfortable playing cultists here. I think cultist with a double temple opening on Earth is really strong because, as I said, there's no priests on the pass tiles either, so producing your own priests is really valuable. Getting all those Earth steps early is going to be really strong too. There's a slight issue of double temple. I am a little afraid of mermaids starting here. There's also a slight issue if you double temple. Darklings could double dig this out from you, or this out from you, because you're not digging early. But usually Darklings aren't going to go for double digs early. So, wow, there's like no bidding here. I think engineers have to be a couple victory points better here still. Although they might get Earth 1 blocked. This might be the sort of table where everybody rushes Earth 1. I mean, that means engineers will get the passing spade and more spades, and then they just open Earth 2 and something else. So that's not bad. It's by no means bad for engineers still. Yeah, I mean, engineers are either going to get double dig or they're going to get Earth 1. Yeah, it just can't be that bad. I'm a little hesitant about taking engineers too far because we saw it a lot, especially like last arena season, that I think people can overvalue engineers a lot. And then you just wind up with not that great of games. So I'm hoping to not fall into that trap. But like, this is sandwich darklings. This is mermaids without yellow. Like, I don't think it could be that great. But I'll go send. I still am just really comfortable playing cultists here. I haven't actually played a lot of engineers lately, and I don't know. I definitely can play engineers, but I just am hesitant about engineers because like they're not going to really hit a town round 2. You might build a few trading posts, and then are you actually going to go for like a stronghold strat? Maybe you build a sanctuary, you get a bunch of dwellings out, but like the track isn't offering them super points. I guess there's a lot of pass points for engineers. Engineers still have to be very good, but I just don't want to pay too much. I feel like we see it way too often where engineers get overbid. I still really like the cultist game plan, but currently nobody's jumping around yet, so that's fine. We'll go one more on engineers here, and then I think we're gonna just keep bouncing between engineers and cultists here. I think we're gonna say engineers are roughly 5 victory points better than cultists. Maybe 6 is roughly where I'm at. I have no real interest in Darklings. I mean, it's still going to be a good Darklings game. I guess there's a lot of leech for Darklings that I'm thinking is going to happen. So that part has to be good. but I'm just not thrilled to play Darklings here. But if these guys keep getting bid down, I will have to go to Darklings a little bit soon. 7 Tuna 5 is the one that put mermaids in, but I'm guessing he was hoping black didn't show up because he's not budging from engineers here. As we said, we're just going to bounce back and forth between engineers and cultists here, hoping that eventually one of them jumps to something else and lets us have them. But if they don't, whatever, we'll bid them down to what I think the right prices are. And eventually we'll take mermaids. I mean, I think mermaids aren't going to rush Earth 1 if we play them. I think mermaids are going to take, we're going to take temp ship. We're going to start here. And we're going to start here. Probably here. We might start here. We'll see how fancy we get. Wow. So Jace Do finally went off Team Cultists and they went to Engineers. Interesting to see that they've changed their mind about what the best faction here is. Anyhow, mermaids could easily get double dig in round 1 because they would just take temp ship. If Darklings don't start on C1, and I don't really think they are going to this game because there's not really great incentive. If mermaids start here, they can dig C1, and they could just do a full dwelling rush, and then round 2 you build a temple, and then round 3 you build lots of trading posts. The only problem is you're not going to have a neighbor up in this section until like cultists comes on in, but I don't totally know where Darklings are going to start, so it's a bit iffy, but I don't think mermaids can be that bad here either though. Like the game plan for them is pretty fine. Although there's no landscapes, I have to remind myself of that. And there's not that much leech because you're going to start here. Maybe you get Darklings. If you don't get Darklings, you'll wind up eventually having cultists. You start here to just pick up a little leech off engineers. But a lot of the hexes I would build if I was doing if I'm going to do a full dwelling rush, I would be here, 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 and here. And the problem is you just don't get that many neighbors. Like, so if I want to build a lot of trading posts in round 3, I can build one here. I can probably upgrade here, but those might be the only 2 that have neighbors. So it's a real issue not having yellow for mermaids. It really is. It's just a real downer. So I don't really want to take them for a while. Not that much longer probably. I'm actually probably to the point where I'm going to pay 1 or 2 points to beat Darklings here soon. Are Darklings possibly 14 points worse than Engineers? Seems unlikely. Especially with how much leech I think Darklings are going to get. And Darklings should be able to just build this. There is still the real question of where you put your other dwelling as Darklings. You could go here, assuming mermaids will still come to you, but that's a bit risky with players I don't really trust. So I guess you still go here, but then you just get sandwiched. And you're probably never connecting. Yeah, I still don't actually love this game plan, but I don't know. This is where I think I might be paying too much for engineers, but it doesn't seem like anybody else is leaving Team Engineers bidding yet, but maybe we're about to, and maybe we'll regret it, but oh well. Yeah, engineers still are just quite good here. Like, you wind up taking Earth 1, Earth 2. You get some coins even. You get a spade right away in round 2. You get so many spades. You might not get Earth 1 still, right? Sorry. We might take Earth 2 and you maybe take Water 1, but I don't love taking Water 1 in round 1. But I guess there is the trading post event in round 3, so maybe I do. Maybe I just take Earth 2. Maybe I don't double temple, actually. If I'm getting a million spades, I can just take temple Earth 2 and not have a second temple early, but whatever. We don't have to play that yet. We're going to go one more cultist, and then I'm going to go to Darklings. If Darklings aren't going to get touched here, I'm about to touch Darklings next. I don't think Darklings are 15 points worse than Engineers. I don't think they're 10 points worse than Cultists. So, um, it's really just how much worse are Mermaids than others. And I just don't quite know the answer. Um, Mermaids are gonna get double dig, and so that's like 4 points here. They're not gonna get a town, but you hope that you can abuse this a bit. You hope to abuse past tiles. You're gonna get some good dwelling points in that round, probably. You get 3 towns. You can build a sanctuary and maybe even a stronghold in round 6. You hope to hit this for like 20 points during the game. Can't be that bad. I just worry about neighbors. I really like as mermaids, if you get decent leech early, you can do that dwelling rush into round 3 trading post quite well. But we're just gonna have limited leech and limited neighbors. If we had slightly better leech and neighbors, I would be pretty happy with the mermaids game plan. Um, the problem with the lack of leech is that you're gonna use all of your power for double dig, and then you would really like to take a coin's power action to open round 3, and I just don't know if you're gonna get enough leech for that even. And that leaves you really limited options. We do get kicked off cultists, so finally I think it's time to at least bid Darklings here just a little bit. I might even just rebid Darklings one more after this. Like, I think it has to be time. It just can't be that bad of a game. Like, they're Darklings. Like, the Boov hasn't had to actually make a move this entire game except for their one time they bid on Darklings, so we'll see how much they were paying attention. Wow, they instantly jumped to Mermaids, so we're playing Darklings. Not really what we wanted, but I mean, I think we have a pretty good price here. We're like, we have quite a bit of a victory point edge, and I mean, there's a lot of ways to score for us still. So we'll see. We're expecting to get a lot of early leech. We're taking worker power, which is pretty good. Worker power means that we want to send our priest to Earth and then still get a mermaid start here. That's a little surprising. I'm expecting mermaids to start here, which still means this is like a really crummy starting spot. This is almost certainly a starting spot. I really hate double east darklings, so I refuse to do it, and I won't. But like at this point, are mermaids going to come here? And if they do, will they come here? So like this is worth it, or do we just like start here and hope engineers come quickly? I mean, this is a real kind of anti-cultists move. Um, we could also start here. This kind of mucks up with mermaids a bit, but it might give us even more leech from mermaids, and then we might hit bridge town up here, and we might still eventually connect through the north and through this stuff. I don't know if we care to connect though. Ah, god, yeah. So this is the part about Darklings I did not like. There's not great choices here. The reason I don't love this spot is that it's kind of just putting a dwelling in nowhere land. Like, mermaids probably still need to go here. If mermaids don't go here, we can eventually take that, but even then, what does these 2 hexes give us? Like, nothing. I tend to be a pretty big fan of this in a lot of matchups, but I just don't know here if it does much. We could just get like stranded without a neighbor up here forever, but I guess we have enough leech coming from down here. It might be okay. I really don't like this part here. I don't like our other dwelling location, but I don't know if I've like hardly ever done this one, but this one can't be that bad either. Like we start here, we take B2, we mermaids can come to A4. To be honest, I'm happy to have a neighbor. Engineers will be a neighbor. You carve out these 4 hexes as a town, or like actually sorry, like these hexes can be a town, or just a huge crazy thing through all of this. It's not that good. Maybe it is here, and you just win the race to B2. I don't know. Nah, I'm not trying to, but I really don't. I don't know the right answer on this part. I'm gonna pick this one, but it could be really wrong. Um, we don't take this away from mermaids, and mermaids don't start here, which means cultists do get this center, sanctuary town, which is really nice for them. I'm not super thrilled about that, but we took the north away from them, so that part at least kind of messes with them. It does look like mermaids are going to beat us to B5 now. We probably should have been on B5. I don't think we're ever connecting. To be honest, that's okay. We don't need to connect this game, but this could be more awkward for us than I thought, and it could be partly more awkward because of where I chose to start. But that's what I deserve. Whatever. Um, I'm also still expecting cultists to come here, but I guess they don't have to. They could do something crazy like start here now, which well, whatever. I don't know what we've done to ourselves yet. We'll find out. They do just come here. I'm also turning all these hex names off. What am I doing with those still up? I don't need them. Engineers take the spade as expected. We take worker power then. Our game plan is to just rush Earth 1. Given that we have no guaranteed connection, we really want to just be greedy with victory points this game. Earth 1 comes with an extra coin right now too. So like we're just going to rush for Earth 1. Then we're going to send a priest to Earth if we have to. If we don't have to, we're going to take a priest power action. Cultists choose to upgrade here, which is fair because I mean like this is clearly where a leech party is going to happen, but like this is usually where cultists want their temple. So there is a chance that that does mean cultists are going to go for the double temple opening I talked about, and that they are going to take a worker's power action. So we'll see. We have to upgrade here. We are, yeah, I'm not willing to lose the Earth 1 fight. I'd like to end this round with Priest to Earth, Temple Earth 1, and one more dwelling, being that we take a Priest power action and use our extra worker to get a dwelling out. Round 2 is just build a sanctuary, probably for Fire 1. I would. I do want Water 1 this game because, again, I don't think we're gonna connect, and I don't even know if connection makes a lot of sense to fight for. So with that being the case, we need victory point favors to produce points, and we also just need temples and stuff in order to produce points. So, um, yeah. I would be really a lot more nervous about our position if I didn't have a 15 victory point edge on engineers and a 10 victory point edge on cultists. We see Earth 1. Given the Boov's rating, I'm guessing this is just an Earth 1, but we'll see. The problem is the Boov is potentially going to not get a single spade here. Engineers are going to take double dig after we take Earth 1. Is the theory. I could be wrong on that, right? I don't actually know this for a fact, but I would expect engineers are going to double dig now, and they'll double dig here, and apparently the red one. Sure. I would take this hex probably, but they're gonna just take the center. Okay, that's fine. I guess if they build this one, their other spade could go here, and that's pretty sweet to just like carve out the whole center, and you can worry about this stuff later. The reason I might have considered taking this one is because then you can take this one right away, and like you could actually build your temples here, and you could angle for the round 2 town. I don't know if that's actually that good. Single dig does get taken by cultists, and they dig next to us, giving us power. We're very happy to just keep taking power. I mean, it helps cultists out too, but that's fine. We get the priest power action probably now. I mean, mermaids could take it here, but yeah, the mermaids getting no spades was the real downside to them rushing Earth 1. They probably should have just double dug like we were planning to do. Um, I'm I'm not that worried about the mermaids, to be honest. I don't really think they have much going for them. They might take the priest, I guess, just to advance ship and then reach a bunch of hexes with temp ship this round, but then they can't really build many. So I don't. They might pass for double dig. I don't know what they're gonna do. I guess I shouldn't. I really can't predict that. So, um, we will just dig this hex. I mean, it's gonna feed engineers more leech, but our dwelling up here doesn't need to be built. They do take the priest, so that's a bit of a downer. I really wanted to build a hex, but it's too important to send priest to Earth here. It just gets us too much stuff. So it's definitely sad, but it's okay. We have a lot of power. Depending on what happens here, we might be able to take the workers and the coins, and then when engineers upgrade this, we would have enough power to make a sanctuary for Earth 2, and that would be a really strong opening here. So we're gonna take workers and hope we get coins back. I don't think anybody else is gonna take power actions, so we might get both workers and coins and still open sanctuary. It'll take like all of our resources, but it would be so worth it. So worth it. It would be. I would actually be really excited about our opening if I get to pull off sanctuary here. It would be really strong. Cultists were our main threat to taking power actions. The mermaids could take coins, I guess, in order to afford the ship upgrade and building dwellings. We don't actually need the coins power action to make sanctuary though, so we'll see. But we do need workers regardless. No matter what happens, we need workers, because we just don't make that many currently. I think it's unlikely that mermaids will take the coins, so we'll see what happens. But if we, assuming that engineers are going to build a temple, which they don't have to, but I'm assuming they're going to build a temple for Earth 2, they could, I guess, just build another trading post. Hopefully they don't do that. If they give us this power, it's so good for us. Now, to be fair, this 7 Tuna 5 looks like a very strong player, so they might realize what we're up to, and then they might choose to not give it to us, which is a reasonable move, except producing priests are really good. Like a temple for Earth 2 is a really good move for engineers. Oh, I forgot they have one more spade though. Oh, weird. Hopefully they don't build it. Oh, they do build it, so they're not going to give us the power. Well, that's a shame. So we can use all the resources we have to still build a sanctuary. We convert 3 power to 3 power is a worker, and the other 3 power is 3 coins, and then we just build sanctuary for Earth 2. The big downside to that is that we don't get to take the coins power action with it, so we lose out on quite a few coins, but it's still so strong. We get to, because by doing it, like, we get 2 coins back from taking Earth 2, so we'd still produce 7 coins. I think it's the right move. It's so, like, it's quite strong opening sanctuary. We probably can even get away with building another temple in round 3 for water 1 then, like we wanted to. The main thing that I'm still like, God, I'm just sad. Like, if we could take these coins and then still have enough power, it's just so much more efficient. It's a pretty big difference, but I don't see how else our power can be more efficiently used than still to just do this. I think saving it for next round doesn't do as much as a sanctuary for Earth 2 does right here. Um, it's just, yeah, if engineers had given us that temple, gosh, it'd be so good. I think engineers get one more worker by building this, but if they just made a temple, they also get a worker and a priest production, and they get 2 coins off that. So I mean, they hurt us, but they hurt themselves too. I don't know how good it is. We could temp ship here. Temp ship would allow us to dig and build, which is actually pretty good. It would also let us threaten to dig and build this. Um, and it starts to get us a little bit more power to hopefully push towards a coins power action. The only thing we need now the rest of the game are coins power actions. That's like all we care about. So yeah, I think we just temp ship here. The spade is fine, but we don't really need spades, to be honest. We already are producing we're producing 2 spades around, due to the 2 priests we're making off of our sanctuary, and we also have a spade coming at the end of this round. Now, it's a little tempting to send a priest here and just get another spade, but I don't think it's worth it. Um, there's just not, like, we're gonna dig and build these 2 hexes. Well, or are we gonna build these 2 hexes and then dig, then build this one, because then we can still just reach this one later. The only advantage to taking these hexes right away is that we can rush getting these 2 hexes and actually setting up our future connection. And given how mermaids opened, and even, well, cultists can double dig here. Cultists are still in a pretty good economic spot. They have a lot going for them. They send priests to Earth. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna let them, like, we're not gonna try to actually win this cult. It's all theirs. It's totally fine. I think we are gonna dig and try for these 2 hexes. We're gonna build 3 dwellings this round. Um, Engineers presumably are gonna build a temple and give us leech. The instant they do that, I'm taking the coins power action. Again, coins are the only thing I need power for. We're gonna have so much worker production with Earth 2 and just getting dwellings out this round, that I just never really need to worry about producing workers. I don't super need to worry about producing priests. So if we don't need workers or priests, our power is just for coins. So it's very important for us to get to take coins power actions this game. I think as long as I get to take like 2 coins power actions, we probably are on the path to winning. I think it's really that important. I also forgot we could send a priest to water is pretty valuable, like taking up some of these 3 spots, but we just need we need to put out dwellings this round with our priests, I think. Engineers did just give us the leech, so I'm taking a coins power action instantly as promised. I don't think there's any good reason not to. Engineers take water 1. That makes enough sense. They probably build a second temple for Earth 2 this round. And yeah, it's fine. One of the other downsides to the engineers not building that temple round 1 that I forgot about, if they built temple round 1 for Earth 2, they would be able to send a priest this round to get a spade out of it too. So I think I think they did slow both of us down by not building that temple still. But anyhow, sorry, I said I was taking these coins instantly, and I should stop thinking about it because it's just so good for us. I guess there is some argument that I forgot too, is that we could actually, like, I took temp ship, but I forgot we could have maybe tried to rush out a round 2 town here, but I don't really think that's worth it. I think building these other things makes more sense. I'm really curious what mermaids are gonna do here. They sent a priest to fire, which doesn't do them anything soon. They passed on the spade here. Um, they didn't advance ship. They're only gonna be able to single dig, so like I don't know if they're gonna take this hex. Like we might be able to win the race to this just because mermaids are developing so slowly. I guess mermaids almost would have to single dig this, right, in order to get here. So there's like no way we get this hex, right? Like they have to build this stretch of things. So we should just probably plan to build these two and these two. Um, cultists collect a priest. Um, I guess yeah. There's open spots on water and air that they'd like to get tempo on, and they still have enough for double dig. Mermaids pass, um, and they pass for trading post tile. That's very surprising. They're in a bad spot. Um, we can take this hex from them now, and I don't see a great argument not to. The only argument is trying to race them to this, but at this point, when the hell are mermaids ever getting here? I mean, I guess if we don't race towards it, we're risking us not getting there anytime soon. But like, I think we have time, so I think I would rather mosey on over here. Um, yeah, mermaids. Mermaids were almost certainly supposed to single dig right there and take those two hexes at least. Ending ending round two with ending round one with just a temple and a dwelling is already on the edge of like okay. Ending round two with just a temple and a dwelling is pretty much a disaster. So don't think we have much to worry about. Cultists take the hexes that I assumed they would. No surprise there. They're doing pretty usual stuff. I'm happy to have kind of beat the cultists from the north. It's going to force them to kind of just probably stick to two towns. And their expansion will be a little limited for... they're going to have lots of spades, though. Cultists are still doing quite well. Both cultists and engineers are higher rated opposition anyhow, and they're doing quite well. Engineers do go for the Earth 2 still, which I think makes sense. But as I said, I think them skipping the temple last round has spited them more than it spited us. But it's okay. We're not gonna get a hell of a lot more leech for a little while, it looks like. So that part's a little sad. But our resources are doing pretty well. We would like this 6 coins tile, but we're probably going too slow to get it. So we'll see what we get left with. We would like to build a trading post or two next round. We'd like to build a temple for water 1, but if we get cut off from that, it's okay. Engineers go back to the spade. Cultists have one more move, presumably, with this priest. I guess they wouldn't have to, but I kind of expect they're going to do something with it. Actually, cultists have nowhere to go with their spades, right? So cultists are going to advance ship is what they're going to do. So they can dig here at the very least or something. Or they're going to send a priest to like air, get a power, and build a bridge. So I think we're very safe to take this and then pass for 6 coins, which is really good for us. The other pass tile that's still pretty good for us is just this dwelling one. But I really want to just rush out water 1 next round. Producing another temple is really good for us. And again, I think we still just want water 1 long term for point scoring opportunities. Building the temple here for water 1 is a little sad, but we can eventually just pay for a bridge. It's, like you don't want to pay for a bridge, but it's not that big of a deal. And then we still are looking like we can hit 3 towns this game. And Earth 1 and Water 1 and somewhat of a connection. And that seems pretty strong. The big downside is there's no scoring for us happening on these rounds, which is part of why I want Earth 1 and Water 1 so bad, as well as producing a lot of priests, because those are alternative ways for us to be making a lot of points. Cultists are really debating here what to do. They have two cult spades, but where are they gonna put them? Like, I guess they could put them here and try to get to this hex, but then we could just take that hex on them, right? Like, I guess they could just take this blue hex so that they don't need a sanctuary town here. That's not that bad, actually. Yeah, they could do that. So maybe they do pass here in front of us. Although they have the ship tile, right? Like, advancing ship here seems like such a no-brainer. It allows them to dig in a spot they would care about a lot more. It would let them already have shipping, and it would let them score 3 more. Like, it's extra points as well. We'll see. I mean, I want to pass for 6 coins, but if I have to settle for 2 coins and like 4 points, so be it. The big downside to not getting coins is it makes it a lot harder for us to afford or justify taking Water 1. But they do advance ship. We will instantly pass and take the 6 coins. It's much too good for us not to. We're doing quite well. We have Sanctuary, 4 dwellings at the end of round 2, and we still have 8 coins left over. We're entering next round with 2 priests, 14 coins, and 6 workers. I mean, it's going very well economically. We have a points lead. Oh yeah, we have an extra spade here too. Forgot about that. That's just kind of crazy. We just turned this black. I think we start looping this around. Yeah. Cultists presumably will dig this, and then maybe they do, or maybe they do just turn this brown. No, they do dig that. I'm curious what else they dig. You know, maybe you just hurt engineers. It's an alternative here too. Slowing engineers down with your spades is a really powerful strategy. When you don't really need them, cultists are producing so many spades here, and engineers. It's harder for engineers to make spades. Now, admittedly, engineers could double dig, right? Gosh, mermaids still can't double dig. They're going to be 1 power short, which I really don't know what mermaids are going to do here. They took the trading post tile, which suggests they're going to build a trading post, but I don't know. They do just go for this. So the only interesting thing is I wonder how cultists plan to secure that. We could double dig here and rush for these blacks and just see what they do, but I don't think that's as good as just rushing for Water 1. Mermaids take a priest. Mermaids are going to double advance ship. Although now that they got cut off from this, I mean, mermaids are super... This is really bad. This is why you start here as mermaids usually. This hex is just so critical to connecting the north and the south. So, I don't know. Engineers are going to want to double dig. They probably dig here and here or something, I would guess. This is also the round where I said engineers can try to, you know, abuse the trading post scoring, but then they don't wind up with many dwellings on the board. So this is what I said during the start of this game, right? That this trading post scoring comes just a little early for engineers usually. You really like round 4 or even round 5 trading post scoring as engineers. If this was like dwelling scoring and then trading post scoring, just imagine how much better that would be for engineers right here. Engineers could build more dwellings, and then next round they could really leverage that Water 1 backed trading post stuff. So anyhow, yeah, we're gonna build a trading post and then a temple for Water 1. That gives us just enough stuff that we could build 2 more dwellings, or we could try to build a trading post. The downside is we don't have any neighbors for our trading posts unless engineers come here. If engineers do come here, I would much rather build a trading post this round. We just don't need that much worker production right now, because again, Earth 2 is really helping to fuel us. So yeah, we're gonna build a temple, and then we're gonna either build some dwellings. or we'll build a trading post. Next round is going to probably be a decent number of trading posts for us. There's no way we're building our stronghold. So we're going to build quite a few trading posts and then be ready to build a lot of dwellings in round 5. They send Priest to Air. That's fine. Priest to Water is still here. The slight risk of Priest to Water is that we potentially lose tempo on Water 1. Cultists could build a trading post and then a temple for Water 1. But Priest to Water is kind of tempting, especially if we're going to take Water 1. It probably gets us like at least second place on the Water Cult plus an extra Priest at the end of the game. But I think securing Water 1 is too critical to give up the tempo for, so I think that's what we have to do. Or rather, it's what we're going to do. Have to do is a bit of a stretch. We don't have to do this, but I think it's quite strong for us to continue pushing our economy by just taking Water 1 and having a million priests. We don't even need that many priests for our towns is kind of the funny thing, right? Like, this is 2 priests, 3, 4 digs are really... Oh, and then we need a double dig somewhere. Like, for this town, we need probably... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... We already have 2, so like we already have enough priests. Like we effectively already have 8 priests, right? But now we're gonna produce even more. I guess 3 ship is pretty annoying. So hopefully we can take like this hex or this hex to at least make it only 2 ship to connect ourselves. Actually, let's wait a sec. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, yeah, we're probably only going to go to 14 network this game. If we somehow push our way to 15 network, then we could connect off 1 shipping by building a dwelling here and a dwelling here. But although, you know, maybe we do make that work yet. I don't know. We'll see. The bigger issue is if mermaids are ever going to come here. We have enough priests that we might just turn this hex blue just to invite mermaids to build next to us so that we have trading post spots for this town. Giving mermaids help is something we can absolutely leverage this game. Also, how well do we think engineers are doing, everybody? Because digging out engineers, as I said, is a pretty strong strategy, right? Engineers they can't make spades easily at all. It's very expensive for them to get spades. It's their main limiting factor in the game. And so if we just cut off one of engineers' hexes, it's pretty strong. It costs them a lot. The only problem is we kind of really want engineers here unless mermaids are going to come up here. And we still want mermaids up here, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It does look like people are rushing for Water 1 now. Mermaids all of a sudden got in the fight. So, like, I think that means we take Water 1, and then I think cultists are going to take Water 1. And then, actually, we might still get Priest to Water then. So, we'll find out. But we're going to Temple for Water 1 here. We're not going to be the ones stuck without it. We are starting to run into some slight coin problems for the future now. We really would like to get more power to take another coins power action. Cultists do just push for the... they do push for Water 1, presumably. Yeah, they take... Yep, they take Water 1. So mermaids are the ones without Water 1. Makes enough sense. We'll see what mermaids do. They advance on the dig track. Whoa, that's interesting and kind of very scary, to be honest. It's always a bit scary to have an opponent with advanced digging that is kind of unpredictable. Really don't know where they might dig, right? So with that said, they did not send Priest to Water, so we will send Priest to Water. It also gives us 3 power, which is quite nice. Coupled with the Earth 1 power we have, that's actually enough power for another 7 coins power action. So there's a chance, actually, that I might send Priest to Water, and I might pass? I don't know. Like, the 7 coins action is really very strong for us. I guess there's no pass tiles that I really want. So maybe I don't. I probably will just build another dwelling or 2. Engineers still have the ability to double dig, but they don't really have hex. Oh, I guess they do have two hexes. They could do this hex and this hex, but I think they kind of want to do trading posts. So I don't know. They're in a bit of a crossroads here, but we'll see what they choose. Hey Loki. Yeah, you're a good boy. He's just moving around in the background here. This game's going pretty well for us. We have a strong economy. We have we have a pretty good economy, right? We have pretty good economic base built up now. We have 3 priest production and a lot of workers. Coins are our only real issue, which is an issue, but coins are the easiest thing to make up for in Terra Mystica. It's much harder to make up for a shortage of spades or workers. So that's part of why I say we have such a strong economy going. We do get to send priests to water. So that's, yeah, we have a part of a strong economy because of that. Like we have all the spades we need, we have all the workers we need. So we just have to find coins, and that can be coin towns, it can be 7 coins power actions, it can be pass tiles. There's just a lot of coins usually to be had, whereas it can be harder to find the other stuff. Engineers are going for trading posts, which means they're not coming up here this round, which means I don't see any way for us to build another trading post unless we do it expensively, and I'm not willing to do that. I guess the only other option is we could do a priest to a worker, but that's like really awful too, right? Like I'm not willing to do that. Mermaids pass. They have enough power to take a coin's power action, but like they don't really need coins. And they left us a good pass tile for us. But I think we're supposed to just expand our economy by building dwellings. So I'm going to build another dwelling. I guess I actually build this dwelling, right? It's more important to have this dwelling. This dwelling's under no pressure, and I don't need to give engineers more. Engineers take the 2 key town, do they? Or no, they take the 8 pointer. Okay. That's fine. Oh, it gets them the spade. That makes sense. I would have really liked if they took the 2 key town for us. Taking the 2 key town makes cultist life, I think, a lot more miserable. But I also kind of agree engineers don't really want it here. So we'll build one more dwelling, and then we'll see what our opponents do. I would assume engineers... I actually kind of thought they might take a ship town there. I don't really know what their plan is here. Cultists might build another trading post just for points here, although then their worker economy is pretty bad. They might just build these dwellings, I guess, for economy. Whatever they do, I think my next move is to pass for this tile. We're going to have at least 2 trading posts up by the end of next round is our plan. And there's a chance that mermaids don't take the 7 coins action and we get to at the start of next round. And that would be really that would be very strong again for us, I believe, to get coins. There is a slight problem, I guess, the more I think about it. Maybe how many trading posts are we going to have on the board, right? So the issue is our neighbors. We don't have neighbors anywhere where we need them. We also do have real coin problems if the mermaids take the coins. But the mermaids have... I don't know what they're doing, actually. It's the real problem. They ended round 3 with Trading Post Temple. So maybe they're building a sanctuary? I don't know. The only way this pass is correct is if we get the coin's power action. So it's a bit risky. Although there's really nothing we're waiting for. I guess we're waiting for Cultist Tile. Cultist Tile is better, but I'm going to pass. I'll risk it. I hope mermaids are nice to us is basically where we're at. It's a little bit... Again, this tile itself is actually a little risky too because we don't have neighbors where we need them. Although we can always dig this hex and build a dwelling and then make a trading post here and eventually do our bridge. So this is at least one trading post spot. But, I mean, we should have neighbors up on this one. It's this town that's really, like, gonna not have neighbors forever, but... Engineers, you would assume, are gonna come to this hex soon, but the problem is they can delay building on this hex for quite a while still. because they don't have to advance ship really, and they don't need to get on this hex. And at a certain point, again, if they wait forever, I think I will just dig this one step on them just to kind of spite them. I mean, I think they're still having a pretty good game, and I think it's just good to slow them down. They're going to build a trading post here. That's nice. I'm assuming they're not going to build another trading post. I think that's a little overkill in terms of the worker economy. I would expect them to just end the round like this, and then they'll pass maybe for the ship points. So while they do build it, I'm not a fan of building it there. They now only produce one worker. I get that it's 3 more points, but gosh, they have no worker economy. They do get another spade, so like they do have several hexes they can build on if they just get workers. But where are they getting workers? I guess they're going to just take another workers power action, which I mean they should get. Who else is taking the workers power actions? But the dwelling scoring tile is open here, which is really important to note because next round is scoring dwellings. So like there's if whenever you're able to kind of stack up scorings, it's quite strong. And then again, now if you're the first one to pass this round, you not only get to stack the dwelling scoring tile during a dwelling scoring round, you also get to open the round presumably with 7 coins. We do get the coins here because Mermaids needs workers. It's really good for us. That was a pretty good read / lucky by us. I don't know which combination you want to go with, but that was really, really key there for us. Anyhow, so yeah, like if we had more power, passing first in order to get this tile plus another coins action would be really good. But we just got a coins action. So now I really would like to get out like at least 2 trading posts to be producing coins for us going forward. I just don't know where they're going to be because we just don't have neighbors where we need them. I guess I could build a trading post here. The downside is like we planned, like I'm planning to just build all these dwellings anyhow. So that's so much of our town. If I assume I'm going to build a temple for Fire 2 this game just to make it to 3 towns, we do admittedly, like we can have temple, trading post, or we'd have temple, dwelling as a town, dwelling, trading post as a town. So I admittedly do have 2 extra trading posts I can kind of throw wherever. So I could just build one here. I just would prefer to build them as part of our towns, right? Like, but we'll see. It does look like engineers are going to advance ship this round. So maybe they'll come visit us. Mermaids do go for a sanctuary here. They still have half of a dig upgrade done. There's no water 1 for them here, so I wonder if it's just air 1, given that they have the 1 trading post on the board. Nope, they're taking fire 1. Okay, fair enough. I guess that does get them an extra worker, so that's cool. I could, I guess, rush up here now, and then maybe if I dig this blue, maybe Mermaids would join us, right? Like I could dig and build here, and then next round I'd dig this to blue and invite Mermaids to build a dwelling on it for us. They do have Earth 1 that they literally haven't been able to use this game. I don't know what their next action is, I guess, to be fair. But we really need neighbors. Is it? I mean, I guess we're always gonna do this dig at some point, right? And it's okay to do it this round. Yeah, I think that's true. I think it's okay to build this up here. Given that the Mermaids do have a sanctuary here, I mean, it looks like they absolutely need these hexes to build their town. So, you know, hopefully they come. You know, they have enough power now. They could single dig and build this hex. That would be really nice actually, because then we could build a dwelling here and then build 2 trading posts. That would be really solid actually. I would love to have 3 trading posts this round, but I just don't think it's likely. 2 trading posts will be quite good though. Also, I'm somewhat infamous for being known for not really liking coin towns, but we're almost certainly going to need kind of coin towns or ship towns this game in order to afford all of what we're trying to build. It's just so much stuff. We've built up a lot. Again, this is where like if we had somehow gotten the 4 extra or the 3 extra coins in round 1, that would have been really huge for us. But it's all right. What's been happening? Engineers did find the advanced ship, so there's that. Mermaids just send a priest to fire. I'm really tempted to turn this blue for them and see if they build on it right away. The slight downside is that it means that I can't double dig this, which was the other option I had for building trading posts this round, right? So like there's a chance that engineers are going to come here this round though. I mean, the thing is engineers don't have to come here, and they probably realize how much we want them there, but again, I also have priests and I can just dig it out on them. Like, I don't really want to go into full chaos mode, but if I have to go into full chaos mode, so be it. Yeah, I don't know. Let's try this. It's really unclear to me if it's gonna work, but let's try to turn this to blue and see if they notice and take it right away. Maybe they think we're trying to delay this 1 turn at a time, and they're gonna, I don't know, whatever. We'll see if they come. If they do come, again, we have to build this dwelling, and then we'll build 2 trading posts. And then we're basically out of resources, but that's okay. Our leech has been pretty rough, which we kind of knew it would be. That was the other kind of concern about this game. We haven't really been getting power from our opponents, but that's okay. We might be able to pass back onto the 6 coins tile in the worst case this round. So we'll find out. Cultists are fighting hard on fire now. Cultists are doing quite well on a lot of the cult treks, and the 2 key town is still just hanging out, so it's a bit of a concern, but nothing we can really do anything about. Our towns are coming in pretty late because we're really delaying this guy, but there's no way for engineers to mess with us here, so engineers advance ship again. Here's where we want mermaids to build next to us. It's kind of going to be really sad if they don't. Wow, and they don't. They pass for the spade. Gosh, it's so hard to predict what they're doing this game. I mean, they've ended round 4 with a sanctuary and a trading post. Like, ugh, what are they doing? I'm still gonna build this. I'm gonna build this. I might just turn this into a trading post. We might get like no trading post out this round unless engineers are gonna bail us out. How he turned down a free hex is kind of baffling to me. I guess he just wants to build it next round because, I mean, he has been a very track-focused player thus far. I mean, he's literally just done what the track has told him, essentially. So, I guess. Hopefully engineers come here. If engineers don't build here, I think I am just going to dig it out from them. I'm kind of in chaos mode in terms of, like, I won't immediately do it, I guess, but if they're not here by the end of the round, I don't need them here. I have enough priests. I don't care. I can dig this out. I can dig this out. Like, I can do things. I don't really need them. Oh yeah, they actually are just advancing ship not to build dwellings this round. They're trying to delay dwellings till next round. I probably will just hurt them then. Like, I think it's useful. I think they're having a really good game, and I think they haven't been disrupted yet. So I think disrupting them is worth something. And we don't really need our priests for that much stuff. So At the very least, the next round, engineers actually almost certainly will build here, and mermaids will be here. So even though the round says build dwellings, we're probably gonna have to just suck it up and build trading posts next round. And you know, whatever, so be it. We'll build some dwellings next round too, but not getting more trading posts out this round is really kind of disastrous for us. Not a disaster, but it's really unfortunate. Certainly, it's not what it should be. I'm assuming this is 2 key town for cultists. They'll lock out earth and fire right away. And it is. That's what they do. Looks good. I mean, cultists are sucking up like all the cult points. We're not pushing as far ahead on victory points as I had hoped. Engineers are building a dwelling this round, refusing to build the one that we want them to, which again makes sense, but I really am tempted to dig it out from them then. People always do this. Like, I get it. Like, at high levels of play, it's weird. This is one area where I kind of disagree with other experts. Some experts really refuse to build hexes if they help other neighbors, and I get it. It helps me. But I also am in the position where, like, I can just dig your hex. Like, there's an implicit threat that if you don't come help me, I can dig you out. And so, like, I'm an expert that personally I would have built that hex as engineers, because I don't trust other players. Like, I would not trust Darklings that are producing 3 priests around and that really needs your help, that they're not going to dig your hex. But some players don't respond to that. So I'm going to just take it from him here now. Like, it's fine. It does look like engineers will probably pass here for 6 coins. They have 1,000,000 power, but oh no, they do just convert for another dwelling. So despite my claims that I was going to dig this out on them, the 6 coins are looking real important for us because we have no way to build stuff without them. It does give engineers this pass tile, which is what they really want, so that part sucks. But if engineers pass for the 6 coins, which they could, we're in some trouble again. We honestly just have some trouble all over the place. I guess the thing is we get to build these 2 dwellings and instantly take a town. It's probably going to have to be a coin town at this point, but honestly, I think that's okay. We have a bit of bridge pressure going on over here to get our goals done, but I don't know. This game still isn't going that bad. We have a decent bit of stuff going for us, but giving engineers more pass points here feels kind of wrong. But if we don't get 6 coins, I think we're in pretty big trouble too. So sorry, I should check if I'm overproducing priests. I'm not, so that part's good news. We really are expecting mermaids will join us. Engineers should join us. At this point, it looks like we'll build trading posts and yeah, temple for Fire 1 or Fire 2. So if we're building another temple, maybe we are hitting 15 network still. I mean, hitting 15 network would be pretty good. Engineers presumably are going to hit nearly 15 network, although engineers' network aspirations does rely a lot on getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 free hexes. And so if we slow them down on even 1 or 2 of those hexes, I think it still does harm them a decent bit. But we'll find out. But yeah, they have a lot of points on the pass here with Air 1, and they keep getting on good pass tiles for themselves. So curious to see what mermaids start with here. They still, again, have so many resources. They take more workers at the start of the round, meaning cultists get the coins. So honestly, this has just been a real wild card of a player. Like, they have no plan, and it's pretty much impossible to predict what they're going to do, and it's kind of annoying me at this point because they're not really doing anything they're supposed to be doing, and I guess whatever. At some points it's helped us, other points it's harmed us, so whatever. It probably all washes out, but the unpredictability is really hard for me to deal with. Especially given that I've repeatedly planned on them being the person that would actually would be neighbors with me on any of these hexes, and they continue to not be. But oh well. This round again, I think it's probably build these two hexes as the next actions and take a coin town. Hope to God mermaids finally show up and we can build some trading posts here, and then we can build another dwelling or two during the dwelling round. That's a lot of points. It would lead to a pretty strong economy. We still have all of our towns we still have a lot of points coming in. I mean, our game's pretty good. We are producing 4 priests at the end of this round too, so we effectively have like 8 priests too, which is just a lot of points. So I mean, we're still doing quite good things. We are being slowed down by the fact that we have no neighbors and we haven't really hit the pass tiles very well. But oh well. Cultists are debating what to do here. This is really surprising to me. Like, this is late game. You just take coins. Like, how is this not just take coins? I guess double dig is a thought for them, but like, where? I would be snapping coins in cultist shoes and not think about it. We really do want to make sure we're connected this game. The more I'm thinking about it, pushing out to 15 network while we could, I'm not sure we need to. Because I think the only thing it's going to do is tie engineers. I think we beat cultists easily on that, or pretty easily if we get to 14 structures. Cultists just have only like 1 hex. Like, they only have 2 or so hexes to build this round. Like, I'm not too worried about cultists. We really messed with them by getting up over here. Cultists are just going for the double dig to get more hexes and passing on the coins. Well, this is a really sad day that we still have been so leech starved, because we would just be handed more coins here, which would be amazing, but oh well. We will just hand engineers some power instead, because why not, right? Yeah. As much as I'm talking about blamming engineers hex to slow them down, I at this point I really kind of do need them, I think. And maybe they continue to just refuse to come and be neighbors with me. And honestly, if they wait too long, I will take the hex away from them and just say I'll figure it out. But I mean, I guess to be fair, my figure it out is double dig this, right? I just make this. I make this another trading post, and then I connect this up. So like, I use my 3 priests this round. 1 is to disrupt. 2 is to take this hex. Honestly, I mean, that's not that bad of a round. But we'll see. I'm really curious to see what mermaids do. We still have just, left this hex for them, and they're refusing to come onto it. It's literally a dwelling round. You score points for building dwellings. I have to assume they're going to come, but no, again, nothing about them has been predictable, so I don't know why I'd say they have to come, but yeah, they're going to go build this. Okay, actually fine. Building this one first makes some sense. This one, engineers could have taken. They are aiming for a sanctuary town, you would think. So I think their next move will be to build next to us. We will finally see them. We are going to build a dwelling as promised, and I'm taking a coin town. As much as my viewers know, I'm not a big fan of coin towns. This is the sort of game where coin town is correct. We're Darklings, we have Earth 1, we have Water 1. We have a clearly defined path for how we're going to turn these resources into points. We're kind of running... I did just realize we're running into the point where we have no dwellings to build, so we really, really, really freaking need mermaids to build this so that we can actually build trading posts so that we can build dwellings again. I maybe should have built this first, just so I could build a trading post here, but engineers are taking this. Makes enough sense. It frees up stuff for them. This is where mermaids are going to come bail us out, or we're going to curse them for, like, ever and ever and ever. They just advanced on dig. Okay. Sure. I mean, our opponents are doing a really good job of not giving us neighbors, but I'm going to reiterate that, like, as much as it's making my game annoying, I'm going to just start digging the shit back out from them. Like, I'm going to turn this green right here because I'm, like... Yeah, I'm definitely just turning this green. And then maybe mermaids take it. You know, that'd be fun, actually. Mermaids need this hex to connect, right? And now they just advance digging. If mermaids come here, all the greater. Like, that's fine. Like, so let's turn this green and see what the hell happens, right? Like, because maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe mermaids are trying to connect. I don't know. Mermaids are, maybe they're carving out other town space and they just assume we're not going to build. I don't know. I really can't tell what the hell is going through the thought process of some of these opponents. All right, mermaids do come. They take that hex. All right, whoop-de-doo. We have some breakthrough. We will take leech. We have a neighbor. We can actually build trading posts, everybody. It's a miracle. Like, the fact that we can build trading posts here actually means that we don't necessarily need a bridge anymore, because we could build dwellings here, although that makes the other stuff trickier. But whatever, we can build trading posts. That's the real breakthrough here to focus on. We can build trading posts. This actually hurts engineers a lot too, because now they don't get up to here either. So this is my whole argument, right? Like, engineers hurt me again, but they really hurt themselves as well, because I finally capitulated and said, fine, screw you. If you're gonna screw me, I can survive without you. And now engineers got, like, again, engineers did it to round 1 with us by, I think, taking a suboptimal move and hurting us. And now I think they've also taken suboptimal moves that hurt us. And we're all suffering for it. And, yeah. The bridge did get taken this round, which I forgot that we might not get this bridge. So, yeah, we might need this hex. I don't think mermaids can't reach this hex, so we might just take this with our next action here. Actually, I almost certainly just take this hex as my next move. Is not a great reason not to. They do finally join us. Oh my gosh. Everybody, we can celebrate. It's been done. We have neighbors, we have leech, we have what we need. Our stuff is largely in place. The real question at this point is, yeah, like, can we build a temple, 3 trading posts, and 4 dwellings, and still make shipping this game? Like, I don't know the answer to that, but it's the round to build dwellings. We should build dwellings. This hex is looking good. Yeah, this hex is looking good. We give it to the mermaids, and we take it away. That's what happens. We have enough resources to build 2 more trading posts, which is quite good. That would help our economy out a lot. The other thing we could think about is building a trading post and building this dwelling. Oh, wait. We have enough stuff to build both trading posts and that dwelling. That's actually the best. We'll build these 2 trading posts and this dwelling. That'll leave us with just 1 dwelling on our board. And then next round we build temple, trading posts, 2 dwellings. We end at 15 network. One of the dwellings will go here or here to reduce us to only 2 ship. We should have enough stuff here to outlast either cultist or engineers for one of their pass tiles. We will need the bridge, or we're going to need 3 shipping. So it's one or the other. We're either going to need 3 ship or a bridge. Neither of those are great answers, but oh well. We are up to 78 points, I just realized. So despite all my caterwauling about some of our problems, we are doing very well on the points department. We have 2 towns. We have at least another dwelling. We have several trading posts left. It's a lot of points. I don't know if it really matters where this one goes. Our next move probably could be a dwelling, although actually, see, the thing is, I don't even know if we want to build the dwelling in one move, right? We would like to dig this to black and then build it, just to really make sure we can get one of these 2 pass tiles, I think. So, engineers definitely still have another dwelling. Cultists actually have it in. These guys do have actually a decent number of moves left. So maybe we don't get a pass tile, which would be unfortunate, but we'll find out. Maybe we still can. I guess maybe we could potentially temple for Fire 2 here, but I think that's wrong. I don't think it's worth it. We'll just build our trading posts. We have the stuff still for a dwelling, as I was saying, so we'll just dig this hex to black, and then we'll build it. I mean, cultists have to be running out of things, right? They can build a dwelling, and then they can send a priest somewhere, but we can dig and then build, and then presumably cultists would have to pass, and then we would instantly take their tile, and then engineers would get screwed out of the tile too. That'd be a really good outcome, actually. That would be pretty ideal. Both of our opponents are having pretty good games, certainly. Cultists particularly are, have like all the cult tracks essentially are theirs. But yeah. Anyhow, we don't build this. There's no need to. We'll build it with our next action. Yeah. Oh, all the power actions are gone, I just realized, but no, now they are. I was going to say, we could have taken a priest power action if we needed to, but it doesn't look like we need to. I think cultists are truly out. I think they can only do one thing. We do our one thing. They pass, we pass. If cultists pass here, I will also just pass. It's a bit sad not to build a dwelling, but it's too important for us to take that tile, not just for points for ourselves, but to deny points to engineers. Even though building the dwelling here is quite good because it comes with it gives us the worker back right away, and it's 2 extra points this round. But it's way too important to get that pass tile. But so hopefully cultists actually try to delay us here. I mean, they don't really have reason to, but hopefully they do it anyhow. But they might just pass, I'm realizing, because they know they're gonna lose this race. So they at least cost us a little bit if they. Plus, I guess they can't really use this like if they said they're currently earning 3 priests currently, so like they might just want to convert this to a worker and pass. I'm not sure. Cultists are doing pretty well on network, but they're out of hexes to build on, and they're out of they're running low on even kind of cheap hexes to dig. I mean, I guess they have a yellow and a black, so never mind. They have enough hexes, but we are at 86 points here. We, again, still have 2 towns and a couple dwellings and a trading post, so we should, and some just things. We should hit, we're probably going to be nearly 120 by the end of the game. And then we should have some network points and just a trickle of. We're going to be mid 140s. Cultists are probably ahead of that. They're passing for 8, so they're at 81. They're going to have. I mean, they have pretty much 32 cult points. They're going to get to probably build a stronghold next round. They're not going to get a lot of network though, so maybe we're still ahead of them. And then engineers, they do just pass. They do convert their priest to a worker and pass. So we have to pass. We're producing 7 power, so we're just going to convert all of our power to coins. The only downside to that is that we won't be able to take a coins power action if it comes to us, but I think we want a bridge anyhow. Like a bridge or a coins power action is pretty equivalent to us for a variety of reasons. So we're also producing 3 priests plus the cult priest from earlier, so we get 4 priests here, which is nice. As I promised, we need to convert our power to coins, and then we pass for that tile. We need that guy. Alright. Engineers look like they're passing though here. Yeah, they're gonna get 9 victory points. They might just build this trading post actually, since they have this pass town air 1. So yeah, they're probably gonna build their town here. So they're actually gonna be at a lot of victory points after passing. but they too don't have a lot. They're gonna try to steal. They're gonna try to. No, maybe they're just gonna send both priests to water actually and lock out water. Yeah, that's really smart. And then they still could actually convert power to a power to build a trading post. They probably should build a trading post, and they do. Yeah, that's. They're doing some really good stuff for sure. They're gonna be at 80 points plus whatever town they take. I think it's good though that the engineers are taking some cult points from the cultists here, and at least forcing the cultists to lock up air. I think I like that. I think that's good for us. The towns that are left are looking really nice for us too. We need at least 2 shipping, so I might take a ship town and then maybe like a priest town. It'll be the right balance for where we're at here. We'll see exactly where our resources are at, but like our economy is quite strong here. Engineers take a worker town. I think that makes sense, helping to build big buildings and stuff next round. But again, we're happy to see that's taken because we were never taking a worker town. So yeah, engineers are up to 87 here though, and they're probably winning network, and they have good cults, and they have a lot of resources left. Although they don't have super efficient things. They don't really have efficient stuff to build in order to turn it to points. They also have no hexes to build these dwellings on, so they probably have to just take the double dig action in order to put those 2 dwellings out, which is totally fine, right? But it at least costs them something. Oh, mermaids take the bridge. Well, that's all sorts of unexpected. Why would mermaids take the bridge? I mean, mermaids, do they forget about their ability? Like, I guess their ability lets them now use this as their river hex, but like, gosh, what a freaking wild card this mermaids player has been. Like, he has no, like, he literally has no clue what he's doing. This is pretty frustrating. Whatever. I mean, fine. So it happened. Like, we'll survive. The main reason that kind of sucks is, oh wait, is it okay still? Never mind. I'm wrong, right? I can build this dwelling. I build this dwelling. I build temple. I build trading posts, and then I still do build another dwelling. And so I don't. I still can get by with 2 shipping. I thought the bridge helped me avoid 2 shipping. The bridge would have maybe helped me get by with only 1 shipping, right? That's the real. That would have. The bridge could have helped save me a ship. But I guess 3 coins there versus whatever. It's fine. Let's just build this before anything weird happens. This is our connection hex, right? So let's get that out of the way. I don't think there's any pressure on Fire 2, although I say that, and yet who knows what mermaids do. But none of these guys, never mind, none of the other players need Fire 2. They already have their 2 towns each, and that's all they're going to get. So engineers immediately start pressing on air. That's good for us, although I'm not sure who we need to worry about more between the 2. It's very good news that both of them don't have pass tiles this round, and we do. That's quite nice. I'm going to accept 2 for 1 leeches. We still need more coins for everything we're doing, and every coin we take is probably a better victory point town we can take instead. So instead of having to take ship towns, we can instead take priest towns, right? And like, that's a pretty sizable difference. Like even if we have to keep paying 1 victory point for a bunch of leech, so I'll take that trade. That's fine. I'm actually gonna kind of delay making our towns now for a while because I don't know what they need to be. I guess I can't delay that long, right? I'm just gonna probably build this hex next and then make our temple. Yeah. Cultists do send a priest to air. I'm curious if this means engineers will go sanctuary for air 3. I suspect it does. I suspect we're about to see sanctuary air 3, which I'm okay with. It does mean that our cult points are really crappy, but we kind of knew they were always going to be. We don't plan to send priests to cults. Like, we sent priests to cults to get cult rewards, and we got a little bit of victory points out of them. That's enough. I think we just dig and build here. Maybe we dig and build here. Maybe this annoys mermaids slightly. I don't think it really matters. Actually, that means if mermaids do build this, we would get a free power. Why are we turning down free power from mermaids? We don't need to annoy them. Yeah. At this point, we need to build temple, trading post, dwelling. Temple, trading post, dwelling takes 5 workers, 10 coins. We easily have those resources for yeah, that's not even a problem. We have enough for 1 ship advance. The bigger issue is then like yeah, we're running low on priests. We probably are still just going to wind up taking a ship town and a priest town. This 8-pointer town is actually not awful, assuming mermaids never move on air. So it might be an 8-point town. There's another option, but we'll see. We do see Air 1 disappear right here, so that's alright. Cultists can build their stronghold still, as I said. That's quite a few points for them. I'm not really sure what else they're going to do this round. I'm still taking these 2-for-1 leeches, actually, because I might be able to get away with just 2 priest towns. Taking 2 priest towns would be really much more exciting for us, I think. I think it's preferable. Although I forgot mermaids have a say in what town we're going to get, because mermaids can form a town here now. I guess mermaids really did need this bridge, looking at what resources they're left with. I mean, it just looked ridiculous. Wow, they're taking a ship town. I guess they're taking a ship town because they still think they need to connect. So their last move is going to be advanced ship. But, I mean, their network is awful, so connecting is pointless. But, except shipping, sorry, shipping scores them lots of points. I forgot they're on the ship pass tile. Okay, never mind, that's fine. Makes sense. That does mean 1 ship town is gone for us, but again, I don't think it matters. We have 17 coins, but it only takes 10 coins to build the temple trading post dwelling. So we basically have the resource. We have the resources actually, essentially, to build what we need to. We're also taking fire too. I forgot already. So like, yeah. People do accept their power, so that's a little annoying. Although it makes sense. Engineers probably should. That was a free power for engineers, and yeah, I think I probably am in the lead. I'm not totally sure, but it seems likely. We're gonna build a temple and take a priest town. We definitely want at least 1 priest town, so giving power to mermaids seems totally fine. We build a temple for fire too. It is the fire 2 open, so I still feel like we should be getting some extra points for this anyhow, but oh well. Engineers still haven't built their dwellings. I'm not sure if they haven't realized yet that we're actually committing to 15 network, but I would assume they're going to respond by taking a double dig yet, but we will discover that soon enough. Anyhow, yeah, we have the resources to be able to just advance ship twice. Anyhow, so we can build our trading post, build our dwelling, take another ship town, advance ship twice. Or sorry, the dwelling needs to go here or here. I don't care which, but that's how we connect. I guess we do have to be a little worried about mermaids taking this and then like engineers double digging this. That would be kind of sad. I don't think that's very likely though. So. Engineers have a lot of resources, but yeah, presumably they want to build these 2 dwellings so that they tie us on network. So they need to take double dig and do that. And that leaves them, I guess they could still build a stronghold just for points, but like that's a pretty bad conversion. Like you convert 3 points of stuff into a 5-point building that you don't have any bridges for. So like ultimately, whatever engineers do, I think they're kind of just running out of ways to score points, which is good for us. They take more workers here. I'm a bit surprised by that decision. I'm not sure if they realize the network fight that's happening, but like they still need to advance ship 1 more time. I guess they don't have to advance ship 1 more time. Maybe they advance dig twice, and then they like dig and build here, and then somehow have enough to dig and build again. I don't know, but we'll find out. Whatever. mermaids move up Earth track rather than advance. Oh, they can still advance ship. Never mind. Okay, that's why they do it. Cool. Makes total sense. Stealing a point or so from engineers is good in my book, anyhow. Um, I think we have to be more afraid of cultists, but like, given that they don't have much network points, that's pretty good. So this wacky starting spot has turned out to work, despite some of my caterwauling here about mermaids' complete unpredictability. Mermaids doing somewhat bad things at least did let us still connect, which we probably shouldn't have been able to do. So us being up north here has totally like mucked up a lot of where cultists would have liked to generally build. It's why their network I think is a lot more limited than it otherwise could or would be. Why does it say their network is only 7? 1, 2, 3. They do have actual. Oh, they don't have real 3 shipping yet. That's why. Okay, they need to advance ship still. So that's what to say. They have 5 things left on their board, so they should be at 12 network. But it'll show that soon enough. But I mean, the upshot is that yeah, I don't totally know how many more points cultists and engineers are really gonna get. So they're gonna end the games at like 100 points, and we're still gonna end the game at a lot more than that actually, because we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Plus probably 2 priests is 14, plus pass for 22 more than where we're at. So we will be at 123 after passing. Oh wait, that completely ignored the town though, didn't it? Yeah, so I think we're gonna be at 132 after passing. Plus at least a tie on network is 15, so we're at least 147 plus we are breaking 150 points. Seems kind of unlikely our opponents are going to do that. Engineers will presumably tie us a network still somehow, I would assume. I assume they're also going to find a way here to like advance dig somewhat. So let's call after they pass. They have at least 4 points on the pass is 96, and all these resources has to turn into like at least 10 points. So put them at about 105. 105 plus network is 120, plus 2 cult wins is like mid 130s, maybe into 140, but I think that's about it. So yeah, I mean that feels good. We take another priest town, right? We have it needs 3 workers and 5 coins, and then we need 2 ship. I guess there is the only small problem with taking a priest town is that I think there is a really weird unlikely scenario where we don't get either this hex or this hex, but I don't think I don't think that's gonna happen. I guess we always have the resources sitting here to just triple ship and not build this dwelling if that's what it comes to. So but we should be able to advance ship, build this dwelling, advance ship, and then we have a free priest to do something with. But you know, we just dig for 2 points or whatever. But cultists are coming for engineers here, so engineers are probably taking water. They have to build a temple here just to close out this cult. I'm guessing is what's happening, and that is what they're doing. They do have water too, so they have another cult step, and that cult step is probably to tie us on fire. So it's another slight shift in their favor, but they're still just behind being able to double dig. So I wonder if they're not going to fight us on network. I wonder if they're just letting us win network and they're just going to beat cultists. Us outright winning network is pretty much good game, I think, at this point. I mean, cultists have a good cult game, but not a dominating one anymore because they lost 2 cults. So, and they have no pass points. Yeah, never mind. We should win this one pretty smoothly still, I think. Early Sanctuary on Darklings is just so strong. It was such a good opening for us. It was almost stupidly good. If Engineers had built this in round one, and we had been able to take coins, gosh, it'd be so good. I still maintain I think Engineers game is stronger if they do that though too. I think their temple plus getting to send a priest to Earth would have really helped them snowball a bit more. But I think Engineers not building on this hex has really cost them. Because their network fighting for network would be so much cheaper for them at this point if they had just done that. But oh well. I will continue making the case to strong players that you can only annoy players for so long before they eventually just dig your hexes and punish you for trying to punish them. So you can play the game of chicken for a while, but you can't wait too long and get burned. But it looks like cultists are down to just building. Do we want to accept this power? I don't think we need it for any reason. And it doesn't matter either way, I guess. Yeah, Engineers took it, but we don't need it, so whatever. It looks like cultists are down to just building trading posts for points, which is really not efficient. It's not a good way to make points. It turns 5 resources into 3 points, so you're only netting like a point on that. We need to advance ship. We've been saying that a while. Our next move is to dig and build this. Mermaids can't build it anymore. Engineers do have enough power now to double dig. That free leech was actually pretty important from cultists. He probably should be offering it to mermaids, but I guess he wanted the cults. He doesn't want cult steps. That was actually just a bit of a mistake from. That looks like to me. It looks like just a mistake from cultists. Like why there's no good reason to give engineers power. You should be building it here and just offering mermaids who don't want it, and then you get a decline, which is better than accepts at this point. But these are just tiny little things to improve your game, right? Like all these little decisions do kind of add up and matter, though. Like engineers got a free power, which could allow them to do quite a bit. Engineers really need to get these dwellings out. They still can double dig. So at this point, engineers can actually outright win network now. I missed that. Engineers have enough resources. They can build their 3 dwellings because they'll double dig and then hard dig to outright win network. So we will be down to only 12 points on network, but it is going to take most of their resources to achieve that feat. So they do have to advance ship, though. Yeah, I don't know. They're still doing good things, but we are going to be at like 130-ish points, 135 points after passing. So that feels pretty winning. Still offered it to engineers. It's really kind of surprising. Maybe he is purposefully trying to help engineers push past me on network, which is kind of reasonable. I mean, this game is only about winning, I guess. But anyhow, that hex is available. We need that hex. So let's dig and build this. We still definitely have the resources after dig and build to advance ship. Yes, we do. So this is fine. Our next move is to advance ship. That brings us to 122 points. We dig. That brings us to 124. We pass. Brings us to 132. Seems good. Engineers go for the stronghold, huh? Well, that's very wrong, but very welcome for us. Engineers almost certainly are going to just advance ship, and then maybe they build 1 or 2 bridges, but letting us outright win network is... Oh, and engineers probably want to build another trading post now. Yeah, I think they're going to let us just win network, which... Yeah, that's a break for us. That's not something they should be doing, but oh well. All right, we convert some resources here into a ship advance. As long as I'm not crazy, we're up to 15 network, and we are, so that's pretty sweet. Then yeah, our last action is we just dig. I mean, we could send a priest to air for a step as 2 points, so that's a fancy option, but um, yeah, I'll just dig this. I'll just dig this to gray or something for the funsies. Or yellow. Yellow's good. Um, so anyhow, yeah. The game plan here again, winning the race to this hex is pretty important. Our opponents really did delay for a while. That hurt us a bit, but I think the big takeaways here is opening Sanctuary is pretty strong, even if you have to pay a decent bit for it. I think opening Sanctuary is extra strong during these. I think opening Sanctuary is very strong during these cult coin events. If you're able to turn all those Earth coins or all those Earth steps into immediate coin payback, it solves one of the biggest issues you have with building the Sanctuary, which is that you have like no coins left to do anything with. It's part of why, in general, I think early Sanctuary strats for Darklings really rely on actually making sure you take the power for coins action to hit your Sanctuary rather than doing what we had to do. But the reason here why it worked so well still is because we still did have a strong coin economy because of the cult event. Um, After that, a lot of the rest of the game went pretty smoothly. You just get dwellings out. Once you get dwellings out, if you have the economy to rush for a water one like we did, it's quite good. Producing all those priests and workers, again, it's once you have so many priests and workers, you have so many options. It's hard to completely get blocked out of options for coins. Um, some of the other good stuff we did this game was digging this to blue to encourage mermaids. Digging this to green to muck things up was also pretty good because it did cost. And engineers didn't tie us on network, and engineers almost certainly are going to build this dwelling and this dwelling if they're free hexes. So this was kind of a clever little move on our part too. To eventually, engineers were trying to punish us, and in the end, we really punished them for not coming fast enough. The other really good thing we did this game was kind of always have our town space and our connection planned out. Somebody mentioned this on one of my other streams, but I think it's an important skill in the game to have to kind of plan out where you're headed. And knowing how many structures you're kind of aiming to build and where they need to go is important. So like this game, we kind of knew we didn't have a lot of extra dwellings to spend because we had 5 dwellings we were going to put over here, and then we wanted to build a town here and a town here, which doesn't give you like we had one extra structure because we pushed to 15, but like we knew we really wanted to take one of these hexes by the end of the game so that we could get by with only 2 ship instead of 3 ship. If we had to afford a 3 ship at the end, it's not that bad, but instead of taking a what was an 11-point town, we would have had to take, I guess it's a net 8-point town, so it's only a 3-point difference. But I mean, 3 points is a good bit of efficiency, right? So that was good stuff. I'm talking as if I've won this game, but I assume I have to have. I mean, engineers advance ship here, right, in order to connect. But we win networks. We're at 150, 154, 156, 157, probably. Engineers, never mind. Engineers still have a extra priests, so they probably block us. But 156 looks pretty much like I think we win by 20 points almost. Which I wouldn't necessarily have thought we were 20 points ahead. The round I thought where things were going pretty wrong still was round 4 when everybody refused to build next to us so that we couldn't build trading post when we had the trading post tile. I think we could have probably got to like 160 this game if our opponents didn't deny us there, though, because yeah, if we could have got more trading posts out, we would have produced more coins, which coins were a real limiting factor, and we would have had quite a few more points. It would have gone quite a bit smoother, but still, this was really quite a nice win, I think. Let's go look at Streamlabs. How many people are talking to us? People are popping in and wishing us some luck. Nice. There might be a way to without the bridge. If NG is probably not worth it. Cultists want the bridge. Town 1. Ryan isn't having any of this denial BS. You're right, AP. I wasn't having any of this denial. You can deny me building on me for only so long, but like when I'm Darklings and I can dig your hexes, like there's an implied threat that if you don't come, I can eventually dig your hex. So like you're supposed to come at a certain point before I get too annoyed. But there we go. Not quite a 20 victory point margin. Engineers are still did some really good things this game, but still pretty good. Pretty good win for us here. Um, so that was a pretty good game on base map. Just kind of classic Darklings victory here. Um, I'm just gonna peek at things at the end here as I always do. Do the other post game. Just kind of seeing where we used our power actions because that kind of helps tell a story. We had to take workers for the sanctuary. I said if I got 2 7 coins actions this game, I'd feel pretty good, and that is what happened. Those are just really important to Earth 2 Darkling strats. The rest of our power this game, we just didn't have much, right? We used it on this stuff, and then we did get coins by conversions, but 14. Okay, that's a decent bit. So we did turn a decent bit of power into coins, and we actually wound up with the most coins at the table by the end of the game. We also had the most workers, the most priests. So we just produced the most stuff. We didn't have the most power. Power gained via structures. We had some of the least leech. Mermaids are the ones that had less, and I mean it's because mermaids didn't build anything, right? But wow. I don't know the last time I've scored 9 victory points on the rounds, but this is remarkably bad. Mermaids crushed us in terms of actually following the rounds. But I guess the problem is we didn't build our big buildings during the right rounds. We didn't spade during round 1. We built a trading post during the trading post round, and we built 3 dwellings in the dwelling round. Those are the only track points we scored all game. That's not good. That's not what you're supposed to do, everybody. But we smashed favor tiles. We did okay on the pass tiles. We did really well on towns. We did well on network. We did very well with our faction ability. So we scored nearly the most points. We got a good deal in the auction, and yeah, didn't have to pay too much for leech. Anyhow, this is a weird scoring breakdown. Scoring only 9 track points while some of our opponents like scored 38 track points. It's a surprising gap to make up, but yeah, we just got high value towns and you outright win network, and yeah, it's pretty wild. Our opponents did some pretty good stuff, except again, mermaids really didn't know what they were doing, but that whatever, that happens. We all have some disaster games and stuff, but yeah, he was ended with only like 5 stuff built, and it's just, yeah, you can't really win games that way. But cultists did some really good stuff. I think we really hurt them by taking the north on them, and then engineers, they did good, but couldn't quite win. But it does sound like the engineers player really decided to not build a temple because he did see how much it would help us make sanctuary. So I still am on the edge of how good of a move that was. It certainly is more powerful for me to get to take a coins action in round 1, but I don't know. I still think his game's better if he just has Earth 2 into getting to send a priest to Earth for a spade early. But, um, yeah, I don't know. I do think engineers cost themselves by not taking this hex early enough. But it's that. Anyhow, I think we are going to wind up probably in a 5-player. Oh, actually, there's only 14 games. So there's one 4-player game, and we're the highest seed in the whole qualifiers. So I think that means we get the 4-player game. Um, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and broadcast until the next round starts up. I'll probably just broadcast when the next round starts. I'm going to probably like walk and play with my dog a little bit here and get a little bit of a bite to eat and drink. 5-player games, I'm assuming, are going to take quite a while, especially if people are thinking through them. So I'm guessing I have at least like a half-hour break here. So thanks all for whoever did turn in and whatever. So this isn't Mend though, Danny B, right? I did get 29 victory point Darklings, but this isn't Mend. This is Sandwich Darklings in Mermaids Cultist Engineers Darklings. This does play out differently. Engineers usually get early leech in this matchup. I do think 29 victory point Darklings were probably a bit of a deal. Especially given that I got to open Sanctuary. I kind of missed just how much leech I might get and that I might get away with that during the auction, but I don't actually think I got that big of an auction deal here. But yeah. Anyhow, let's see. Sorry, chat. I should respond here now that I can again quick. Can I explain the start B3? So, B3 might just be wrong, okay? So, I don't really know. The reason I went for it is I hate starting double east. Double east, I think, is just the death of Darklings. Like, if I start double east this game, I can build these hexes for a town, and I build like these hexes for a town, but then I have to already have shipping by mid-game in order to get anywhere, and if mermaids beat me here, there's no way I build 15 network, there's no way I like really get 3 towns easily, and it's bad. So don't do double east. So then, if we're not doing double east, one of them's in the east, and it's here, because this is our leech triangle, and so where does the other one go? Here, I think is bad, personally, because if mermaids actually started here, and we were placing without knowing where Mermaid's second dwelling went. If we go here and Mermaids goes here, this hex again does like nothing unless we get early shipping and beat cultists here. So I don't like that. Starting here is okay, but then we're racing for like this hex and this hex, and we're still hoping to like beat cultists here. So why not just start here and say if we lose this to Mermaids, who cares? Because we can just like town up here, like we did. The only other argument was to start here, and I probably should have just started here. Starting here was our connection hex, and it was really important. But this did work out actually really well for us because we did get temp ship in round 2 and got to build here, 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 and then we still did get to build these hexes. If we start here, it's actually a lot harder for us to expand as well in round 2. Now, did I actually know in round 2 I was going to have temp ship and the ability to build, 1, 2, 3 dwellings? No, I got kind of lucky. There are ways that this could have gone a lot worse. I'm not sure this starting hex was right, but the other reason to start here is just because in these matchups, in my experience, if Darklings are going to do well in the game, it tends to mean cultists aren't doing quite as well because you're kind of fighting for network up it through here. And I tend to find whoever of Darklings versus cultists gets most of the hexes in this range win these matchups between the two. And so I think it's important to start up here as Darklings and deny Cultist the North. If you deny Cultist the North, I think you see kind of what you get here, which is a good but not great Cultist game. So that's most of the reason. Danny, think network should have been NG's points. Yes, absolutely. Big mistake with Stronghold. Yes, completely agree. Engineers should be a bit closer to us, and we should be a bit lower. No doubt. X-Ray, he's thanking me for streaming. Thanks. Congrats, one more. Yep, absolutely. Specifically in seat 3, why G5 over E10? How does tempo over cultist change? Okay. So the reason you go E10 is because it's better leech. If I start here, cultists are going to take this black from us, and that really helps cultists. Cultists are going to wind up being on these hexes. Um, Starting here lets you get away with the dig, and all of a sudden you have another hex. Like, it's even faster expansion, it's faster towning. Um, and this is also a leech triangle that can often form up. Whereas if you're up here, you only get leech from engineers. So like if I started here, there's no way I get to sanctuary. The only way I got to sanctuary was because I got to start here, got a lot of leech from people upgrading next to me, and I then got worker power and priest to earth, and I got the workers power action as required, and yada yada yada. But I think E10 is almost always correct for that extra leech, and just because expanding through here is like guaranteed hexes, whereas if you go here, you're just throwing away. You've thrown away some easy expansion because cultists are going to beat you to that hex. And then how does the tempo over cultists change on other stuff? Again, just like cultists are kind of the main enemy in this matchup. Mermaids can be. I mean, mermaids again could have kind of really screwed us here. We got lucky that mermaids was so kind of iffy, because I think if mermaids beats us here, I don't know if we can win this game. We don't win network at that point, and I don't know where we really make up the victory points. I think we just don't make up the victory points. I think we just lose. So that's why starting here was probably smarter, to just hope to get hope to beat cultists to this still, but we got lucky on some fronts. So you have to think about this. You would not have considered B3 and G5. Yeah. So to be fair, again, I don't know if B3 is right either, but Darklings are kind of stupidly flexible in their starting spots, and I kind of have a certain style of Darklings I like to play and where I start. So I don't. I can't really say exactly what the best stuff is. Other people play Darklings in some different ways than I do and tend to have a lot of success too. And sometimes I look at other Darklings games and I think they're kind of ugly, and it's fine. One of the things I personally really dislike doing with Darklings is like early shipping. So part of the reason I like these starting spots and what I did is that I didn't have to actually invest in shipping until the very last round of the game. But I've told, like, other people are very happy sometimes, like advancing ship in even like round 3, and using this tile to actually score, and they do well. uh I think the main reason I don't like that stuff is because I think it often comes on the back of rushing for an early coin town or an early ship town, and that goes against my beliefs, even though I did it here. So I'm half jesting, but I do tend to play for high victory point towns rather than uh aggressively getting points off of past tiles or favors. Although, I mean, I still did that somewhat this game too. But anyhow, I don't know. I'm somewhat just talking and going crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna head off for a bit. But yeah, thanks all for tuning in. Hope it was fun and all that. And yeah, we'll see if I can qualify for the actual big shebang here today or not. Gonna head off for a bit. See y'all.